Yo, yo, what is up, legends? This is Mark here. I feel like it's been so long since I've seen you guys because I didn't have a call last week. Um, but it's good to see everybody here. How you guys doing? We're gonna have an amazing call today. I got 8 submissions here that I'm seeing, maybe 9. Yeah, eight or 9 submissions. So definitely a good amount to go through there. And then if we have time at the end, we can open up to like a little bit of Q&A action. But let's see who we want to start with today, man. Let's see. You know what? Let's go relatively in order. Is Rom here? Like I'm doing like a roll call. Rom, present. Alrighty, Rom. Let's look at this. Whoa, there we go. All right, Rom. Let's have some fun. Hello, Mark. First of all, wanted to say thank you for your advice on my previous campaign, which was terrible. I don't know if you remember me as a posture corrector, but this is still my second ever campaign, and the results are getting better. 1K in 2 days on launch. Okay, Rob. I see you. Uh, Question number one, I'm currently having one main campaign that I'm scaling slowly and it's doing well. And also I have mini CBO that I use to try and find more winning sales messages to my product. I'm having a hard time creating videos as I currently only run image ads. I don't know what the best approach to what video ads to create. Like what type will work the best in your opinion? I know there's there's never one answer, just want to know your thoughts. Question number two, should I be afraid of ad fatigue? It's a real thing, how to avoid it, blah blah. No, don't worry about ad fatigue, bro. Until you're spending way more money, and I mean like 5K per day plus, and that's like a bare fucking minimum. Bare fucking minimum. Don't worry about ad fatigue. Uh, what's really happening is the creative was not that good in the first place, like 90% of the fucking time. So let me draw this real quick because this will be good probably for multiple people. Okay, so the way that I think about creatives and the way you should as well, basically like like this. So you have like S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, F tier. We'll just call it that. Now, the issue is people are creating creatives that do well, but they're only able to sustain, let's say down here, it's like $100 in spend. So like you would get a sale at $50 and you're at a 2x ROAS. You're like, bro, this is incredible. I got a winning creative on my hand. Then it spends 100, doesn't get anything else. So that's like its peak. The next one would maybe be around like, let's say, 500. I don't know why I put a comma there. $500. That one creative, based off how good it is, can spend $500 profitably. 600, it falls off a fucking cliff. And then you have ones that are like 1K. From here, it becomes like logarithmic. It'd be, 1K, 10K, 100K, and then probably around a million. This isn't like, these aren't hard and fast rules, but this is generally how you should be thinking about it. So what you think is creative fatigue is just the creative was not that good in the first place. It was never designed to be scaled as much as you're spending on it currently. And especially, bro, I even at my level, like I'm spending a lot of money on ads every day, and I don't think about creative fatigue at all. I really don't. Like eventually you'll have some creatives, excuse me, you'll have some creatives that die, and then cool, I have like five backup creatives that are ready to go at any point in time. So it's not a huge deal. All right, the first question, one campaign that I'm scaling slowly is doing well, and also I have a mini CBO that I use to try to find more sales. The best way to approach video ads, like what type will work best in your opinion? Okay, so let's look at the data and then I'll come back to that question. So 10 days, 1,500 spend, 4% CTR all, 5% CTR link. That's not even possible, just so we're clear. You can't have a CTR, a link CTR that is higher than your CTR all. So that data is off, brother. I don't know what's going on there, but it ain't right. So you took the wrong number here somewhere. Maybe they're supposed to be reversed. I don't know. No, no, it's not what the data says. Unless that's a Facebook bug. This is physically impossible. I promise. Maybe you had them mixed up. All right, 1.35 CPC, 44 CPMs. Health and wellness, big five, 60 price point 2.9K. Breaking ROAS 1.3. You're at a 2x ROAS. Okay. Add a cart to purchase, great. Add a cart ratio is decent, decent, above average. 72 72 AOV. Okay, not bad, not bad. Bro, this guy is just fucking ripping with these super old saturated products, and I love it. I love it. Dude, I sold this product in like 2019, I'm pretty sure. But they're so proven. It's like this is why I think the saturation thing is bullshit. Okay, anyways. Your question I think was mostly about video ads because you're only scaling with images. Ah, this is interesting too. You have interesting image ads. It's not native statics. It is super pretty direct image ads, which is fucking phenomenal, bro, because you can pump so much fucking volume with these. It's crazy. However, for the video ads, what I would recommend for you, bro, is probably going to be pretty like short form direct video ads, so like under 60 seconds, or you can also test out mini VSLs. So think of like anywhere from 3 to 8 minutes long, like 2 to 3 to 8 minutes long, um, mini VSL. And I think that can do well for you too. But based off how direct these are already, interesting. Yeah, I don't think I have more to say, bro. I would just do some. You can make really good video ads with this too. I like recommending the brand Spartan. I don't know if they're still running ads from their main page anymore, but it's an old client of ours, and he is very good at making these mini VSLs and like these short form videos. So I'll check them out on GitHooked, reverse engineer them. You're good. How can unique link click CTR be higher than CTR all? How? By definition, you're going to have fewer link clicks than you are clicks. Link clicks, clicks, two different things. That's why I say CTR all, which includes all clicks, versus CTR link, which is only link clicks. Link clicks are always a proportion of the total clicks. It can't be more than 100%. Yeah, if it counts all the clicks, that's CTR all. Therefore, it should be. Maybe it's because you're using unique versus non-unique. Oh, that's probably it. Yeah, I don't look at unique versus non-unique really anymore. I'm only looking at total. That's probably it. Yeah, sorry, Rom, for giving you shit. I definitely missed that part. All right, let's move on. Um, let's go to Cosmin. You here? Cosmin? Yeah, there he is. All right, what's up, bro? So let's start over here. Damn, that's literally as big as it gets. All right. So we have a product in the kids' health niche. We're currently selling in Romania, Bulgaria, and Hungary, with Romania being our main market. Dude, it's so funny you said that. I was going to ask if you're Romanian because I have a Romanian Gabriel as well. No, it's all Cosmin. So mini sell through COD. We have our own internal warehouse. one person for editing, one person for scripting, one person for management, one person in the warehouse, and two people on customer care. I handle mostly the ad side, media buying, and general direction. Homie handles management, accounting, and the things that keep the business running. He's slowly starting to get involved in the scaling side as well. Last year did roughly 1 million in revenue. This year heading towards 3 million or more. And I'm very confident with your help, we can get there without any problems. In Romania, we were unprofitable last month because the ads had a ROAS below our break-even ROI. Our break-even ROI is 2.3. 2.3 is really tough, dude. Really, really tough. I know you're doing cash on demand, but still such a high break-even ROAS. This month we started doing tests and launching more ads, which helped a bit, but not massively. The ads are still pretty volatile with one profitable day, one unprofitable day. How much did you spend last month, dude? In Bulgaria and Hungary, been running for around 2 months, so the market is still new, and we can use ads that perform really well in the past. So those markets are really not a problem at the moment. We're running one scaling CBO for Romania, one testing CBO for Romania, and one CBO with a few images for retargeting. For Hungary, we're only running one scaling CBO, and for Bulgaria, only one scaling CBO as well. In the last 3 days, we started testing new angles in Romania, but none of the hit. I'm not 100% sure whether it's because of the angle or because of the image. We don't really produce many photos, so it's bit harder for me to figure out what the actual issue is. So the situation is this: we're unprofitable in Romania on ads, and over the last few days, we've often been unprofitable in other countries. Angles we didn't work. Okay. Okay. I have a few questions to help me understand what to do next. How many creatives do you put into testing ad set with images? Okay. I can definitely answer all of these questions, bro. Before I do, I want to make sure that you're asking the right questions in the first place. So let me quickly look at the data. Last 7 days, 3.9K spend. Man, I gotta change this on the form. 13 cents CPC, $4 CPMs, kids health, 33 bucks. Well, so last 7 days you were profitable. It was just like the last few days that were not profitable because I'm seeing 3.9K spend, 12.6K revenue. Or that is that still not profitable because your break even ROAS is so high? That's a 3.2 ROAS. How are you still not profitable? How'd you get how'd you get 2.2? Based off the spend and revenue, bro, you're at a 3.2. Oh my God. So what is your real break even ROAS then? Like a if you're at a 3.2, mm, yeah, yeah, with everything, with VAT, with projected refunds, bro, you mean like your actual return on ad spend for break even is probably closer to like what, 3.3, 3.5? It's not making sense because you said you're unprofitable for the last week, but your ROAS was not a 2.2. That's what all this is coming from. Look, I'm gonna do a formula. Your revenue divided by your ad spend. You're at a 3.21. You see that? So okay. Okay, I see. I see. Before I answer your questions, bro, I feel like this is a screaming problem that is just going to continue to like bite you long term. Here's the issue, and what nobody who's running ads on Facebook at a high scale really wants you to know. How's that for a hook? Um, Facebook knows exactly how much money you can truly afford to acquire customers. So long term, as you scale, that's part of the reason why CPAs go up. It's because Facebook knows. That's why these massive, massive brands that are doing 9 figures per year, they have to get funding in order to cover their cost per acquisition. And the reason why is because Facebook knows exactly how much you can afford. If you give Facebook all your data, they know they're not stupid. And so they're going to give you just that and nothing more, or even sometimes substantially below that and nothing more. So as you try to scale, Facebook still knows how much you're going to be able to pay. With a break-even return on ad spend that is that high, it's going to be very challenging to be able to scale up more because Facebook is going to learn more and more, and it's going to know how much you can afford to pay customers. It's going to give you that and then nothing more. And it's still going that your CPA is still going to go up over time. So the main issue here as of right now, bro, is your gross margins. It's your breaking return on ad spend. I understand it's cash on delivery and you have VAT and you have, maybe a high percentage of refunds and chargebacks, but none of those things change the issue. The core issue still remains the same. It is an unfortunate stacking all those things on top of each other, like cash on demand and VAT and whatever else. But yeah, it's still the same issue. Still the same issue. The gross margins is one of those things that is fully within your control. You can't control what CPA Facebook is going to give you on any specific day. Yes, over longer periods of time, you can reduce it. It can also go up over long periods of time, but you can't directly control it. What you can directly control is your gross margins. So you should control them to the highest level of your ability to have phenomenal margins so that when you do try to scale, it doesn't make everything harder. Does that make sense, bro? I need to say that because I'll answer all these questions, but you're fighting an uphill battle 100%, like 100%. And you're just like creating more shit for you long term if you don't fix these main issues. Okay. So how many creatives do you put in a testing ad set with images? Typically 4 to 6. In a testing ad set, I assume you're going with one marketing angle. Yes, I'm specifically going with one net new concept. So one concept is going to be the same angle naturally, but yes, one angle with variations of that one angle all within the one ad set. Are all the images in that ad set based off the same image concepts? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, hmm. The way that you're running your image creatives right now, the creative is going to be the bigger needle mover. So if you want, you can change the copy and the creative simultaneously, but you still want to keep it generally similar to that main net new concept that you're testing within the ad set. What I would do is probably keep the copy the same actually, and focus on making variations of that image. So you can make large variations or you can make uh, minor variations. And minor variations would be keeping everything visually the same and just like changing the hook, just changing the headline on the image. A larger variation would be, for example, like new color scheme, still following the same format, but new color scheme, maybe slightly different placement and different copy, but still in the same net new concept. Or do you include multiple concepts, for example, before and after, us first them, carousel, etc.? I do not. For creative testing, I do not. It's one net new concept per ad set. Do you test different market awareness levels inside the testing ad set? Um, I think what you're saying is like you have a bunch of different creatives in one ad set. This is like this is like the Andromeda theory, and I don't believe it. I don't personally believe it. Unless you're a big brand with a big pockets, big budget, big fucking wallet, big VC fucking funding, I don't see it working. Which is like, what I mean by working is like I don't see it being most efficient. Which is okay. I'm gonna have my top of funnel here, my solution, my unaware here, and then I'm going to have two middle of funnels, and then I'm going to have bottom of funnel, and it's going to bring the overall results of the ad set up. It's like, cool. How do you know that? I want conversions now. And you're also like, most of you guys on the call, you're in the early stages of starting your brand. You don't have money to just like waste on these ad sets and these creative tests that are not going anywhere, but you just keep them running because it's like, oh, it's what Andromeda likes. No, fuck that. I want sales now. I want them right fucking now. I don't want to wait. I'm not going to purposely put in unprofitable ads and keep them running just for that purpose. No. That's what I see from like these like agency owners that they don't give a fuck about budgets and shit. Like we're all, I think, everybody on this call, self-funded, bootstrapped, gritty entrepreneurs. We can't act with the same fucking ad strategy as like Garoons or as Rise. Like we just can't. We have to be gritty and we got to compete. And that's why my media buying strategy is pretty fucking aggressive. I'll cut ads at $20. I'll cut ads at 50. I'll cut ads at 80. Because I don't want to lose this fucking money. I don't like losing money. So you don't test different awareness levels inside a testing ad set? Not really. Not really. Maybe at most I would go like one level. So like I would have a problem aware and solution aware. But generally, bro, it's the same concept and the same concept should roughly be the same awareness level. Now, here's the key, dude. What we're talking about here is creative testing. If you were to take these specific creative tests, and let's say you have a few winners there, and those winners are at different awareness levels, then yeah, cool. You can throw them all in a scaling CBO and they'll probably do pretty well. There, I don't really care. You can have a bunch of different awareness levels. You can throw some retargeting creatives in there. But for testing specifically, no, just one concept, basically all the same awareness level, all the same angle, all the same concept, just tiny little variations. Not tiny, variations. When should we test a different funnel set of seeing traffic directly from as a product page, maybe listicle, etc.? What metrics from the ad show us that we should test a different final link other than the product page? The main thing you want to look at there for testing product page and overall funnel conversion rate is going to be that add to cart rate. And as long as you're still on Shopify, you can test the listicle. But was that, I mean, it's kind of hard to analyze because your data is very different just because the nature of your market. You have like, what was it, $4 CPMs? This is actually, I think, a pretty solid conversion rate for those CPMs. Um, yeah, and you have 13-cent CPC. Like that's crazy. It's not crazy, but it's crazy for me running ads in US. So to answer your question, when should you test a different funnel? I mean, you said you spent 50K last month. That's just a little bit over, like it's between 1 and 2K per day on average in spend. I would probably be looking, I'm really bullish on funnel testing. So I would probably be testing at least 1 to 2 new funnels per week. So that could be a new listicle, that could be going to a new PDP. Romanian on 20K, okay, one a week. Still same. I don't really care if it's like different geo. What is your top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel ratio on the ad side, and how exactly do you structure them? In the entire account, it's probably I would say 80% top of funnel, 10%, no, 5% middle, 15% bottom. I would say roughly off the top of my head, that's what it is. Yeah. Any other questions, bro? It's the best way to structure a pre-laner on Shopify. Um, yeah, I do a different campaign, a different CBO. Also, if you had 5 angles you used before, and they work somewhat, then you find a new angle that performs better than three of those five, does it still make sense to keep using those three? I mean, if it makes money, it makes sense, bro. If they're still profitable, keep them running. Uh, Ron, Mark forgot, do you think it's worth to upgrade to Shrine Pro? Because I want to show the free gift coming in the bundle and regular Shrine doesn't have it. Or should I not touch my store as it currently? Don't touch it. I don't even need to finish. Don't touch it. All right, cool. Let's move on. Emil, you here? Yo, what's up, bro? All right, last 3 days, $280 CPC, $15 CPMs. Oh yeah, okay, I remember you. $19 CPA. Oh, bro. Oh yeah. 4.59% conversion rate. Great work, bro. And at a $58 AOV, what's your ROAS here? 2.94. What I'm fucking talking about. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Mark. Emil here. Last few days have been the best so far. I switched to product positioning from coaches to lifters. Thank you. And ads are now consistently profitable. Let's get some W's in the chat, guys, for Emil. You guys remember this fucking guy? Oh yeah, bro. I remember your very first call. Great work. Okay. Funnel's converting well. Really happy with where it's at. Good. Now it's just a matter of doing more and better, I believe. Before I start scaling the ad budget, are there any constraints in my numbers you want me to fix first? Or am I clear to push spend 20% every day from here? I'll answer the second question. Yes, you're good to go. You have so much margin. You're selling info. Your break even is literally a 1x. So you're triple that. The answer to that question is 100% yes, just right off the bat. Now, is there anything I see in the data? And 20% per day, it's nothing crazy. Like you're spending like $100 a day, basically. So you go from like 100, like 120. It's like it's not going to be a lot, but it compounds, obviously. Anything about the data that looks off? Your CPC is fantastic. CPMs are fantastic. The conversion rate is fantastic for this price point, being only info too. Is this where you're sending all your traffic directly to this page here? Yeah, sick. I mean, listen, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? You're converting at almost 5% here on a $60 product. Really good. It's all info. It's your metrics here are very, very good. If you wanted to be a total psychopath, then I'll just probably work on getting the AOV up because you're at $59 currently. Your average order value is exactly that. So if I was being a total asshole, nitpicking everything, which I do frequently, that would be the one thing, the one area that you really have to improve here. And I'd probably get this over on Funnelish, you know, and work on testing it there. Build out some really good OTOs, some post purchase upsells that probably destroy. But for now, bro, stay on Shopify. You can even add like a post purchase upsell using after sell. That's a no brainer for you. Maybe you can get another $5 or $10 out of that AOV. And other than that, bro, spend more money. That's it. You're killing it. Yeah, Alexander, I'll do my best to get there. Pre-landers, no, bro. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're converting it almost 5%. That's really good. That's really good. If anything, I would probably just focus on creating more winning ads. I don't know how many winning creatives that you have, but I would probably spend time doing that. All right, Fabian, you here? Alrighty, bro. Your marketing relaunch with new advertorials. I had a little bit of success at the start. I was getting really high CPMs, but luckily it recovered. However, I'm still having big issues with advertorial CTR, which is around 11%, according to Clarity. I've noticed Microsoft Clarity definitely doesn't report at the same level as something like Funnelish or Checkout Champ in regarding to ADV CTR. I don't know exactly how bad it is though, because it's so hard with the data. And I've also and I also have really low add to cart ratio. Do you think I need to fix? What do you think I need to fix to get a 15-20% advertorial CTR? How many creatives should I test per day per week at current $220 daily budget? Um, 220 bucks per day, like 1400 per week, 1500 per week. The standard rule I use is like 20% roughly of your daily budget. So for you, that would be like 40 bucks a day. So I would focus probably on creating probably no more than 5 ads per day, closer to 3. Yeah, yeah, roughly. Yeah, that's a good rule. But also keep in mind, at the lower levels of total spend, the 20% rule doesn't apply very well because it's like you spend 50 bucks a day. What are you gonna spend? What is the other $40 going towards? 100% of your budget is creative testing. You don't have any winners. So it's not, I don't think it's quite that for you, but similar concept. But let's take a look at the lander and figure out what's going on there. The advertorial CTR is definitely of concern. However, what I mentioned about the tracking number is definitely important because I've noticed similar when I get off of these platforms like Funnelish, etc., onto like custom built pages that the data just kind of it's inaccurate, but it's consistently inaccurate. I just don't know the degree to which it's consistently inaccurate. Um, but what you can do, bro, is you don't need to necessarily have like a super great KPI for using Clarity for measuring advertorial CTR. You can just look solely at add to cart ratio because whether you're sending to a pre-lander or not, you need to get this shit up. Because once they do, as you can see, once they do add to cart, they buy. Maybe there's an issue with the congruence on your ads. So is this like your top ad that you sent me here? Hmm. Okay, so man, this is a tough one because I know we've had a few calls before about this already. Um, trying to identify what the real constraint is. I think the hypothesis of the creative not properly following this advertorial is somewhat valid because what you're doing here is you're almost running like a format of a native static. It's just it's a little bit different in the ad copy. And it's interesting because it's like you're mixing product aware copy or solution aware copy also with like unaware because it's like I spent 15 years, probably $2,000 trying to fix my cellulite. I learned the truth and cried. Okay, super like high TAM, high curiosity. Even then, bro, your CTR all is not that good. You're at 11%. This is a competitive market. But maybe for this one creative, I know that's probably the account average. Maybe for this one creative it was better. You can tell me. I don't know the numbers on this creative specifically. But 6%. Oh my God, that's even worse. Fuck. Um, yeah. So back to my point, you have like you're kind of teasing this thing. It's like, it works on the actual tissue, blah blah, it does this and this. You haven't even said what the product is. Yet you're writing like product aware copy. To me, that doesn't make sense. And then you don't even sell the product at the end, which is okay. That's not a problem in and of itself. But you do that right after you just talked about the fucking product. And then you linked the advertorial here. So I think regarding the copy, it can definitely be better. And I would follow more of like the native static copy frameworks that we've talked about in previous calls because those work best at advertorials. The issue is right now, bro, part of it, like advertorial side, part of this issue is just your traffic is too expensive. If you're sending to an advertorial, immediately like 70% plus of your traffic is just gone. They're not making it past that page, which means you have to compensate for that with lower CPCs. Your CPC right now for the top three is too high. And it's not even that bad, but looking at what your CTR all is, I know there's a lot more that you're leaving on the table. Even though your CTR link is really pretty solid. Like this ratio between the two is actually very, very good. But that's not the game you're really trying to play as much with native static. You're more so trying to get very cheap traffic, qualify them as much as you can, and then send them to the advertorial. The advertorial, you also have an issue with, and I hope you track the relative performance of the advertorial. So like I know we have the clarity issue, but you can still see generally, based off clarity, which advertorials you tested have had the highest advertorial CTR. It's not going to be like 20 to 25% probably because of the way that they track it. However, um, like here's something like I track a lot of my advertorial CTRs on Funnelish. Funnelish does not uh remove bot traffic from their calculation of advertorial CTR. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm 100% sure because I see all the fucking Facebook bots coming in all the time. Anytime we do like a big launch of creatives on a brand new funnel, it's very clear. So you can still see relative performance of advertorials. So you probably have a twofold issue. I don't think it's the PDP because I remember seeing the PDP. It looks it looks incredible, actually. It looks fucking amazing. This this is probably like half the issue, and the other half of the issue is your ads and your creatives, specifically the copy. Does that make sense? So what I would do if I were you, bro, is I would sit down and I'd look at, all right, these are all the advertorials I tested. According to Clarity, this is the CTR. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Look at which one is the best. Deconstruct why it was the best. And then continue to like advertorials are huge in affecting your ads performance. Like the difference between 50% CAC reduction, for example. It's very substantial. And the number one predictor I have seen personally, as long as all other variables are properly controlled, is the higher you can get your advertorial CTR, the better that advertorial is going to perform. That doesn't mean you just like slap a fucking CTA button right underneath the photo. You're like, oh, I have 50% advertorial CTR and it wasn't profitable. I force consumption in all of my advertorials, which means I don't care if they're ready for the button or not, they don't get it until they get to the bottom. And you do something similar. And I actually like that. I mean, there is one here. Weird CTA, but there is one here. And that's basically what I would do, bro. That makes sense? Any other questions there? All right, cool. Diogo. Bro, did you guys see Diogo's message, his post in school from a little over a week ago? Somebody fucking answer my question. It's a yes or no. Okay, cool. We got a few fucking hisses. Gonna need to wake the fuck up, bro. Anyways, if you haven't read it, I really would recommend it. Great read. Okay. I spent about 6K on one specific ad. It was very profitable first, but over the last 3 days, it started dying out. So I stopped it eventually, and I actually paused while advertising because all the ads were citing unprofitable territory. So important note, dude, this whole chart here that I was talking about. So you said like it spent 6K. Okay, so let's say in this chart here, you basically got kind of like in between C and B tier. C moving its way up to B tier in terms of like how much spend it could sustain. The cool thing is to a degree, I would say to a degree of about anywhere from like 10 to 30%, you can squeeze more profit out of a creative through the media buying. And this is where it gets much more advanced. And this is where really good media buyers are actually very valuable, specifically in this. But if you only have that one creative running, for example, like in one CBO and nowhere else, literally one ad ID associated with that creative, you can probably get a lot more out of it by media buying your way to more profitable results. But that's like, I don't think I should talk about that because you guys are going to think it's way more impactful than it really is. But I'm getting buyers across the whole range. Strong sales 65 plus, 55, 64, a lot of 55, 45 to 54, 45, 65 plus. Yeah, yeah, it's normal. My real question isn't just what's the age, it's how do I find the actual core of the market, right specifically to it, so the other segments follow on via foreshadowing. Okay, please give me some numbers in terms of let's just do spend. In terms of spend on Facebook, what is the proportion 65 plus, 55 to 64, and then 45 to 54? There should be one that is like they may all be a good amount, but which one is actually standing out? Okay, image ads only so far. New concepts got get some salesman, nothing beats a winner. How do I move into video without losing what works? Move into video without losing what works. Just doing creative testing, it doesn't mean that you're gonna lose what was already working. You don't have to worry about that. 45 to 54? Okay, so like what's the proportion between those three? Like out of the total amount of spend, not like which one is more. Like what is the proportion? Because if it's all really close, then it doesn't really tell you anything. AV is too low, my post-purchase flows leak. When I'm not working, I feel bad. Okay, let me come back to that. Let's fix the business stuff first. Pretty drastic drop off here, dude. CTR all and CTR link. As you know, you do want to have you do want to have a high CTR all, but you don't want it to be such a low CTR link. I need to fucking change this, bro. I'll change this for next time. You don't want to have a ratio that is more than 5 to 1, truly lower anything more than like 4 to 1 of CTR all to CTR link. You have 7 to 1, so too high, too high. And what that means is you have much better hook than you do have a body. So let's take a look at the ads here. You know, I'm fairly confident already this is a creative issue. I remember looking at your lander previously. It's it's good. It's good. Um, I think these are super overrated. The before and after sliders, I recently tested this the good amount of ad spend and just a regular before and after outperformed something that was like, oh wow, so cool. It's like, all right, do you want to be cool or you want to make more money? It's a small thing. I guess you can test for yourself, but that's just what I found. So I like the structure. I do think the copy can be definitely better. Like for example, what the fuck does the product do? I know what it does, and this, if anything, could be like a bullet point, but what is the ultimate outcome, the ultimate dream outcome that these people want as a result of using your product? And also, I don't know what the burst and fade problem is. That's just wasted copy. That it doesn't really make sense. The 2 second spray that immediately turns your frantic dog into a calm companion without chemicals, drowsiness, or a trip to the vet. Like that would be a completely different headline where you're actually selling the product, you're telling what it does, you're also still discrediting other, other competitors. Because that's entirely what this headline is about. Every calming spray fades in 20 minutes, ours doesn't. They're like, what's in it for me? The number one thing, what's in it for me, is not answered. Um, so yeah, I mean, I could totally tear apart your lander, dude, but I think that you probably have much more of an ad issue than a funnel issue because it's not like you change something in your funnel and it stopped to perform. Why? Well, only other variable is the ad. Unless you have like lander fatigue or the lander wasn't good enough to sustain this level of ad spend, because that's also a thing. Okay, those are all pretty close. I mean, technically that middle one is the best in terms of ROAS and spend. So that I guess is really your core if you want to really dial in. I would focus on that age, but those are damn close. Um, fuck, lost my train of thought. So answer the question about the videos. Oh yeah, the ad. Let's look. Bro, so much better with the hook in terms of like not being too storytelling-esque. I still think even your CTR all is like a little bit low, but this ratio is especially low. Okay, so this is the exact feedback that I gave somebody else very recently. Hooks are not your problem. I don't think they're your problem right now. What is really happening here is you're going way too deep into the storytelling and not selling the product enough. I talked to somebody last week, and as soon as they made this adjustment, their image ads immediately just transformed. The data tells you, bro, you are good at getting clicks. Sorry, you're good at getting people to read the ad in the first place, but they're not clicking. The only other thing it could be is everything that's right here. All of this. Everything except for the hook. So you're going too deep into the story. Long story short, and you need to go probably deeper into the mechanism. Yes, it's way too much. There's not an issue with copy being long. What is then the balance in native ad to be selling? I don't even know how to answer that, but this is too much. I don't know how to answer it, bro. Like I don't know if I can exactly quantify that, but I think the best thing you can do, man, is I mean, you can go and watch or read some good VSLs, and I think you can kind of see there because it should match the proportion. A lot of the best VSLs I've seen, they're like 30, 40, 60 minutes long. So the story naturally will be like 10, 15 minutes, sometimes more. But here, like there's all these other things you have to do outside of the story, and you spend so much time in the story for the sake of the story instead of for the sake of selling the product. So I would urge, excuse me, I would urge you to test a little bit, like just in terms of how direct you're being, turn it up just a little bit because this is relatively direct. Like I mean, it's a solid hook. It's a solid hook, but there's just so much to get through until there's even like a sneak peek of what the mechanism is potentially going to be. That's, I don't know how to quantify it, bro. I really don't, but I can tell you that this is too much, and I've seen people struggle with this a lot. Yeah, that, who fucking cares? Like, well, what are people going to say in the comments, People in the comments are losers. But yeah, that's basically all I got for you, bro. Santiago, you here? Oh wait, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, you had the entire second half of the question. Hold on. Um, when I'm not working, I feel bad, like I'm behind, not chasing the goal. So I can't have a normal day or enjoy anything else because I'm always thinking about what I still need to achieve. But when I hit the goal, the dopamine lasts a day maximum, two, and then it's gone. We do this partly for other people, but they never really see what went into it. And even when they say they're proud, it doesn't actually fulfill me. I think that's good that it doesn't fulfill you. So it feels like I can the same reward on not doing and doing it, even though I know for a fact this is what I want. How do I shift this? So let's start with this, bro. I think probably everybody on this call can relate to this sentence, right? Like when you're not working, you feel guilt, you feel like you're behind. I also feel that way anytime I don't check fucking AI Twitter for like a day, an hour. Um, okay, so I'll be transparent with you guys. I always am. What I still struggle with this to this day. Like if I'm not working, I sometimes I definitely still feel guilt. I've been getting better at it though. And I think what helps you to become better at it is it's gonna sound very, very backwards, but you've essentially trained your brain probably over the span of years to uh to conflate movement with effectiveness. And there are times where you can not be working and still be highly effective. But because of all this time that you spent just wanting to work, 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 you've just been training your brain that that's the only way that there is. That's the only way I can move forward. So when you're not doing that, you feel like you're not moving forward. Once you start to hit some larger numbers, you'll notice your entrepreneur brain has to shift. You're a solopreneur, and you'll have to make the shift where you start thinking like an entrepreneur, which means you have to start hiring team members, which means you have to start building systems, which means you have to be able to create a business that runs whether or not you decide to open your laptop. That's like the tactical side. As you grow, you have to focus more on higher leverage activities that are going to help you grow your business. So for every input of time that you put in, how many multiples of a unit of output are you going to get? Like if I work actually, there's a good book if you guys want to read it, feel free to steal it, called How to Not Be Wrong. It's called How to Not Be Wrong. And it's actually a book on mathematics. And yeah, I'll just kind of open loop it and leave it at that. I really like learning about like math and science and physics, so it's a cool book. I kind of forgot where I was going with that point about how to not be wrong, but the other side of this question, bro, is it's the spiritual side and it's the subconscious side. The reality is that everything that you want in life already exists. That specific reality where you have your dream amount of money, dream, dream girl, dream house, dream car, dream life, like every single detail is exactly how you want it. That reality already exists. Time does not exist in a linear fashion. Like there's the past and then there's like the future over here. That's not how it works. Everything has already been created, which means that somewhere out there is a version of you that has everything that you already want. The issue is the more that you try to chase that version of yourself in that reality, the more it runs away from you. So the part of like the more spiritual woo-woo part of this answer to this question is that you have to begin to operate out of a place of non-resistance, out of a place of detachment. Because ultimately, the way you feel this way is because of detachment, which is it's okay. If you're a beginner stage entrepreneur, you kind of have to be attached, or else like you're not going to get your fucking bills paid. But as you grow, you'll go through seasons as an entrepreneur. And what you'll realize is that the more time that you spend, like I remember, bro, I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to get every single fucking second out of the day regarding my work. And that just like creates more and more attachment over time. And look at someone like me, bro. I've been doing this for like 8 years. The degree of attachment I have is crazy. That's why I've been working on it for a while. But every single morning, I now wake up and I believe a few things. Number one, I believe that everything just works out for me. If you just adopt this belief, like everything just works out for you, things start working out for you. I don't know how the fuck it works, but if you just believe that about the world, remember, the reality is not objective. It's subjective to your belief system. And if you have a belief system that you construct yourself, may as well make it a fucking good one. Make it one where, oh, yeah, things just I don't know, they just kind of work out for me. That doesn't mean that you don't fucking get off your ass and get to work. That's not what that means at all. Um, but it does mean that you are detached when it comes to making money, and that ironically ends up making you more money long term. Hopefully that helped. But dude, this part, like you do this partly for other people, but they never really see what went into it. And even when they say they're proud, it doesn't actually fulfill me. Good, bro. You shouldn't allow the words of other people to be the thing that fulfills you. You should only have that from yourself of devoting yourself to something that is challenging, to that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. You face resistance, you face obstacles. It just gets harder and harder, and then by some fucking miracle, you actually make it happen. That's the thing that makes the whole process fulfilling. It's like you getting faced with adversity, you get through it, you become a better human being than in the process, and then you get rewarded for that with money. Not even like money, but just the sense of accomplishment that you feel. I used to play this audio every single day when I was in college. Like even when I was still laying in bed, I would like put on my headphones and listen to it. And one of the things is I was like, I don't want to visualize the outcome because then that actually releases dopamine in a way that I don't want it to, because then I'm just like distancing myself from that thing subconsciously. So what I did is I kind of like convinced myself and brainwashed myself to be in love with that sense of accomplishment, that sense of satisfaction where you work super hard, you pushed beyond your existing, skill set, your limitations, and you became something new, something better. You developed yourself. And I was like, that feeling right there is really what I want to optimize around. So the fact that you have other people saying they're proud of you, it doesn't make you feel some type of way, or it's very short-lived. That's how it should be, bro. It should never be anything external is that's somewhere where you're deriving your self-worth. That should only be internal, ever. I think any philosophy ever, spiritual, religious, generally centers around that one truth that your sense of being should not be predicated on anything other than yourself. Yeah, yeah. I mean everything, every issue is identity for sure. Um, dude, to this day, I still play a custom audio that I built for myself every single morning just to get myself in that state of non-resistance and detachment. And it's not like I don't fucking work the rest of the day or anything. It helps me actually help get help from universal consciousness, get help from the universe, get help from God in opening some doors for me in making my life go the way that I feel it should go. All right, next question. That was a cool little tangent there. All right, Santiago. All right, 7 days, 2.6K. Holy, nice. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wait. Oh. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I misread I misread the first number. Okay, cool. Bro, beautiful fucking bro ass man. Great work. Great work. Let's get some W's in the chat for Santiago. Bro, bro is at a 2.6 bro s. Amazing. I'm trying to remember what the what your product was. Uh oh my I'm so immature. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I understood how the product worked. Dude, that's what I'm talking about with those images, bro. Yes. Great work. Marky, that's crazy. My account. You read these images, my account got banned. Sorry, should not be laughing. I was like, bro, yeah, good work. Banned. Um, okay, nice. Bro, getting an account banned, nobody freak out. It's all part of the process. I've had so many accounts banned, still get accounts banned. I got an account banned last week, so hmm. Yeah, your add to cart would be synonymous with an initiate checkout if they're going to straight to checkout. How do I go about my inputs without making my ad account shit? I mean, dude, testing new ads is not going to make your ad account shit. Testing new funnels is not going to make your ad account shit. If anything, Facebook likes the diversity. Like if you have multiple creatives that are doing really well, that's something that Facebook likes. And the only way to get those creatives is to test more. So I think your issue is probably not an ad issue as of right now. Like your CPC is super healthy. I know you have low CPMs because you're running in Spain, but still CTR all is great. CTR link is maybe a tad bit low. Like the ratio here is, I mean, I don't know what ratio is that exactly, actually. Yeah, you're like right at a 5x. So if anything, you could probably work on improving that body copy and bring that up just a little bit more because your CTR all as an average, that's actually insane, bro. 23% on average too. Um, yeah, the conversion rate is just so tough. So tough. So 6 new ads and 1 new funnel is what you've tested on 2.6K in spend. Yeah, that's actually really light. That's definitely light, dude. I would focus on testing like 3 to 5 creatives per day and 1 funnel a week. Just more volume, dude. How do you make your 1K days stable? I mean, pray to God. Don't try to be stable, bro. You're not able to control it. I wish you were, but you're not able to. Fluctuations like this are normal. totally normal. And you just need to look at larger time frames and stay disciplined, stay emotionally detached. Inconsistencies are normal, dude. Like they sway you less as you scale up. So like inconsistencies around 1K day feel like a big day because going from like 1K to 600 it feels like a lot. But when you get up to like 10K days and going from like 8 to 10K a day, it doesn't feel quite as bad. I know it sounds weird, but you'll be there eventually and you'll know exactly what I mean. But don't try to, is not the right question to ask. Like if anything, just make, here, let me explain this visually. Okay, so let's see. Doing this off the dome. So what's basically happening is your results are like this. So your average ends up being like, how do I do the freaking? Where's the goddamn dotted line? Ooh, all right, whatever. You get the idea. So this is basically like your average, right? This is your baseline, quite literally your baseline. So you have some days that are going to be, above the baseline, some days like these that really, really suck because they're below the baseline. But on average, you're still quite profitable. Instead of trying to make it so that you're doing like this and there's like very little inconsistencies, it's like asking for 10 miracles within a 60-second time frame. Instead, what you should try to do is just elevate your baseline. The inconsistencies are not going to go away. If you ask somebody, like if you're running Facebook ads at least, if you ask somebody who is spending, oh shit, you can ask me, spending a lot more money than you, I still experience inconsistencies too. And it is all part of the process. But what you can do is instead of your inconsistencies averaging out to like a 1.5 ROAS or whatever it is, what you can do is average it out to like a 2x. So then you're like up here, right? And then your actual baseline is now up here. So you're still having days where like here, like you're quite unprofitable, but you're like shit, and you're not unprofitable. You're like shit, I'm below my baseline. I'm below my average. Today is a lower day, but you're still profitable. You're still quite profitable. That's the way to truly think about it. Okay, so I wish I could just give you a formula for how to have consistent ads. I don't have that for you. I'm sorry. How long should I run an ad or something that should be worrying about because it has ad running on 1.3 frequency? Almost has a 1.3. That's fucking nothing, dude. Don't worry about it. How long should I run an ad? Yeah, literally, I don't look at frequency for ads that are like really, really scaled. I look at frequency initially because I want to see if it's being used as retargeting, remarketing, or as only cold top of funnel. But for the frequency beyond that, I don't look at it. Like let's say here, quick thought experiment, bro. Let's say you have an ad, it's been running for 2 months. Frequency's at a 4x. Would you cut it? Exactly. Exactly. The only thing that matters is it's profitable. What if the fucking frequency was 50? Yeah, see? Doesn't matter. What matters is profitability. Eventually you will see them correlate with one another, but you're nowhere near there. And again, all you need to look at is profitability at that level. It's always to scale with more ads, but you can also scale vertically. You have 5 winners. I don't know what you define as a winner, but 5 winners, actually 10K spend in a week. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. The more you can have, the better, but you can probably scale those vertically like a lot more. Yeah, I know 2x for us, but like I don't know like what level of spend. All right, guys, I'm sorry. This is all time that I have for today. I'll make sure we get answers to everybody else that wasn't I wasn't able to get to today, but amazing work, guys. Great call. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Recording.